Hi everyone, Amy from the Learning Center. Today I'm going to talk to you about multiple tips for multiple choice tests. Throughout our college career we have lots of tests, and some of those might be multiple choice. Just a little bit about the Learning Center before we begin. We have 3 types of tutoring. We have professional staff tutoring in the Learning Center, so we help with all levels of math, chemistry, physics, biology, English, and study strategies. We have online tutoring. This is professional staff tutoring, but from the comfort of your own home. And we have peer tutors, so students in upper level years who have already completed the course with an A or a B. For more information, you can come to the Learning Center, which is right across from the library on the 3rd floor in 3024. All right, so preparing for the test. The very first thing that you should do when preparing for multiple choice tests are to look at questions from your textbook or test banks if you have that. A lot of textbooks these days have multiple choice tests right in the back, and probably your instructors are going to be asking very similar questions. Joining or forming a study group is a good idea. You guys can get together and generate your own questions. If you put yourself in your teacher's shoes, try to come up with some questions that they would for the test. Really important for multiple choice tests, one of the reasons that students find it so difficult is that even though the answer is right there on the page, there are different theories that are very similar, but they are different, and students really need to be able to pinpoint what the differences are. So when you're studying and when you're preparing for the test, you need to identify those similar theories, ideas, and then what you want to do is you want to make a list of how they differ. Now, you're sitting there right before the test. What you want to do is you want to know how much time you have. So if you only have an hour for a test and there's 100 questions, you want to know how much time you have to answer each question. Before you look at any of the questions, it's a good idea to write down any information that you may forget. Multiple choice quizzes, exams are going to have a lot of questions. So as you go through the test, you can always refer back to this information if you're drawing a blank. And you want to always fill in the bubble sheet correctly. Some places might call it a Scantron sheet, but this is where you want to put all the information so that the teacher knows that that's your test, your student ID and your name. And you want to make sure that you fill that out correctly. Nothing worse than a teacher saying, oh, you didn't write the test, when all you did was you just filled in that bubble sheet incorrectly. Now, the most important skill with writing multiple choice exams is reading the question. Most important part. So you want to read every word slowly and out loud in your head. Make sure that you read every single word. Pencil reading is really going to help. So that's when you take your pencil and you're going to read every word with your pencil. And watch for key words. Some instructors may bold or italicize, and some instructors are going to leave that up to you to figure out which words are the key terms in there. You're going to want to note absolutes. Absolutes are words like every, all, always, never, and none. These words are definite. So a lot of times with theories and ideas, there might be exceptions. So you want to note these absolutes. You also want to note negatives. And 2 negatives cancel each other out. A lot of questions, if there are double negatives, really trip up students. So again, reading every single word and highlighting important information or absolutes is really going to help you understand what they're asking. All right, so you've read and you've understood what the question is asking. Now it's time to answer. What you want to do is you want to cover up all the choices and you want to generate your own answer. Then, after you've generated your own answer, you want to read all the options. Now, a good multiple choice question is going to leave you stumped. However, you should be able to eliminate at least one of the selections fairly easily. Then, if you see what your answer was, or the correct answer, you want to circle it, put it in the bubble sheet, and move on to the next question. A lot of times with multiple choice tests, there's no real time to kind of dilly-dally and take a lot of time with each question. You always want to consider the options of all of the above or none of the above. So some profs put in funny options, and those are usually wrong. Now, if you've read the question, you've looked at all the answers, and you still don't know, you want to guess and flag the question. If you don't have time at the end of the exam, you can always, you'll still have an answer in there, and you won't leave anything blank. However, if you do have time, you can always go back and then work out the question, have a little bit more time for the ones that you're not 100% sure on. Okay, so if you're not completely sure of the answer, you want to eliminate those that you're 100% sure of, that you know 100% are not right. You want to question the options that grammatically don't fit the question, and you want to question those options that they're totally unfamiliar to you. When writing multiple choice questions, profs put in what are called distractors. Now, they might put in some words or terms that you haven't covered yet or aren't relative to the information that you're speaking of. So you want to question those ones. Another thing that you want to do is you might want to refer to other questions on the test. Now, there might be the answer in those questions. So let's go over an example. So very easy question, where is the Learning Center located? Now, I know that the Learning Center is located in one of those upper level floors, kind of near the front of the building. I think I saw the library as I passed by. So I've generated my own answer. Now let's look at the options here. So is it beside the Glen Crombie? Is it by the water fountain? Is it on the third floor across from the library? Is it in the New Health Science Building? Assistance with test strategies? Or all of the above? Okay, so now I have a lot of options here. I have 6 options. Most of your multiple choice tests are only going to have about 4 or 5. Now, I've just eliminated beside the Glen Crombie Center. I know because I've passed there every day when I'm walking from the bus that the Learning Center is definitely not beside the Glen Crombie. I know that the gym and the Student Center is right beside the Glen Crombie Center. Okay, so now I've eliminated one I'm 100% sure of. I'm going to eliminate assistance with test strategies. That one was not grammatically correct. It has nothing to do with where the Learning Center is located. I've eliminated all of the above. As soon as I can eliminate one, I know that all of the above is incorrect. We do not have a New Health Science Building here at Cambrian. We have a Health Science Wing, but not a New Health Science Building. So this is something that I'm not familiar with, so I'm going to eliminate it. Now, I've eliminated them down to either by the water fountain or on the 3rd floor across from the library. Both of those answers could work. However, multiple choice tests, you want to choose the most correct answer. And that would be on the 3rd floor across from the library. From the windows of the Learning Center, we can see the water fountain, but the best answer is on the 3rd floor across from the library. Now, when you're finished writing the test, make sure that you go back and make decisions about the ones that you flagged. Go through and do the process of elimination that I just showed you, and hopefully this will help you find the right answer. Make sure that you transfer all your responses onto the bubble sheet, and again, no blank questions. Do not leave anything blank. If, when in doubt, guess. And if you guys have any questions, you can always come to the Learning Center for more information. Remember, we're on the 3rd floor right across from the library.